This is the plaintiff, Cheryl Aaron. She says she bought a custom leather coat from the defendant, and the thing is way too big. She looked like a beached whale in it. The defendant stopped taking her calls, refuses to make her a new coat that fits, and she's suing a crook for the $2,135 she gave him. This is the defendant, Jeffrey Weiss. He says he designs coats for the likes of Anne Bancroft and Mel Brooks, just to name a few, and the plaintiff hired him to create one for her. Once the plaintiff got the coat home, she called him asking to return it because she says it made her look fat. He offered to change the lining to a thinner one, returned the coat to him, and then filed a claim against him with a Better Business Bureau. The woman's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. One minute she's nice, the next she's a monster. Bottom line, the woman sued him. Here they are, and now it's time for the judge to decide who's right and who's crazy. He's accused of refusing to ride on anyone's coattails.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please.
Okay, a lot going on that side.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Cheryl Aaron?
Yes.
You are suing Jeffrey Weiss of Jeffrey Weiss Designs for $2,135. The amount that you paid for a custom-made raincoat that you have not received and that you feel there were numerous problems with. Tell me what happened here.
On June 15th of 2013, I had ballet tickets at Lincoln Center, and I was early for the ballet, so I walked through the craft fair at Lincoln Center and saw the defendant's booth. The coats looked wonderful, so
Is this an outdoor craft
It's
fair?
an outdoor craft fair in the main plaza at Lincoln Center.
Okay.
And I ordered a custom raincoat. So we agreed that I could send him a deposit after I got home. On June 17th, I mailed a $500 deposit to Jeffrey Weiss Designs. On August 1st, we agreed to meet in New York City at a restaurant called Spice, which was the defendant's choice. They came with the raincoat, and I tried it on, but there was no full-length mirror. There was no mirror, so I couldn't see how it fit.
All right, so you pay for the coat, you take it home, and you decide that you don't like it because...
No, I took it home, and the coat was 3 sizes too big. It was enormous, and I went to my bank early the next morning to stop payment on the $1,635 check I had written. The bank told me the check had already been cashed, so there was nothing I could do.
You went to the bank first? You didn't reach out to him to...
Oh, I sent him an email.
Okay.
On the after I tried the coat on August 1st.
Is that the same day of the
That was the day
lunch meeting or whatever?
Yes, it was the same day as the lunch meeting, and I got home, I looked in the mirror, and I was actually shocked at the fit, and I sent him an email saying that I was very upset and saying that I had burst into tears when I looked in the mirror and saw it.
And he said what?
And I didn't get any kind of response. When on August 5th, I filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is the day that you reach out to him?
I reached out to him on August 1st.
And you got no
Later.
response, meaning what does that mean exactly? That you left him a message and he didn't return your call?
No, I emailed. And on August 15th, after I had filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau, he sent me an email and assured me that the coat could be fixed.
He waited 15 days before he responded?
I believe it was 2 weeks
15
later.
days. Do you have the emails?
I do.
Okay, that's good then. While she's looking, did it take you 15 days to respond to her email?
My recollection is that it was sooner than the 15 days.
When do you think you responded?
I thought it was like 2 or 3 days, because I do remember having a conversation with Miss Aaron. She said she had been so upset, and I had...
What was she so upset about?
That she didn't like the fit, and sometimes needs 1 or 2 fittings.
Okay.
You know, and I am
Do you have a showroom?
willing to go the distance to make sure that happens.
Do you have a showroom?
Not in New York.
Okay. So tell me about this coat. Is it here?
Yeah.
I know you got a whole rack of coats. Is that the coat?
This is the coat.
The $2,000 coat.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
called...
it's a one of a kind. You designed it. What's the name
the series. It's called A View of the Bronx from I-95 at 60 miles an hour at night.
A view of the Bronx
From
I-95
at 60 miles an hour
at 60 miles an hour at night. Okay.
And it's the inspiration is from in the Bronx. There are abandoned tenements, and there were artists and developers that put paintings into all the windows of these high-rise abandoned tenements to promote them and develop the South Bronx that was really devastated about 25 years ago. The coat is made of a faux suede called Suede Mark. You can wear it in the rain. Eventually it wets, but it will dry just like this. The technique for putting this design in, I have a patent for. After I cut the pieces of the coat, I draw a sketch on another piece of fabric, and then it gets stitched, cut, and turned with a tweezer, then pressed around the edge. Anyway, it has a zipper.
I'll hold this.
Okay.
And it's got a zipper, a placket, and magnetic snaps. Between the insulation and the fabric of the coat is
A layer of thin
a
slate.
layer of thin slate.
Who's that guy?
My partner.
Okay.
The one that's
I
not
had
nervous.
called Miss Aaron before delivering the coat to discuss the insulation.
Okay.
And I said, well, I was kind of worried about bulkiness, and
And she told you that,
she said it was okay to use the thicker, and I also added that if it didn't work out, I would take the lining out
okay,
and
so
switch
anyway,
it.
so you get an email from her that says what? Did you find the emails?
Yes, I
Okay,
did,
may I
Your
see them?
Honor. And I beg your pardon, I was wrong on the date, Your Honor.
That's all right. So let's see. August 1st, I tried on my coat in front of a mirror after I got home because there was no mirror in the restaurant. I took one look and burst into tears. The coat does not fit. It's miles too big, and I feel like I'm wearing an ugly down coat. I'm going to send the coat back, and I expect a full refund. I've lost confidence in this transaction. And when was his response?
His response was below that. It was actually, I believe, the 5th, Your Honor. I'm sorry, do you want me to?
16th. Yeah, can I see his response, please? Look, what's the bottom line? When you get this email from her complaining about the fit, what do you say to her?
We come to an agreement where I'm going to change the lining, the insulation.
Okay, because you felt that might be what's adding to the bulk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that would trim it down
Okay.
by half.
So did you have her mail the coat back to you?
Yes.
And did you, in fact, do the repair?
Yes.
Okay, and then what went wrong? Because at the time, you folks make an appointment to see each other where?
Again at Spice, Your Honor.
Why? Because Spice had bought a mirror?
But he promised to bring a full-length mirror.
Okay, may I see those emails? Can you hand that back to my bailiff? And then what happens? He doesn't show up?
And he never showed up.
Why didn't you show up?
And he never, I rang repeatedly from my cell phone.
I think probably
waited
because by then he'd gotten the
almost
Better
an
Business
hour,
Bureau
an hour and a
complaint.
half.
What happened?
His mother.
I'm the sole caretaker for my mom who had a stroke 6 years ago. And she was having a contraction with her leg, and I
think it's that you got the complaint from the Better Business Bureau and it made you angry.
maybe it was passive aggressive, maybe. You know,
Yeah,
but,
that's what I think happened.
But
Who's the
'cause I
woman
thought
nodding?
that
She's
really-
your partner and the woman behind you are
got
both
me
nodding like, yeah, that's...
But it was his mother that we ended up taking to the hospital that day. And
So,
just in the rush
what
of it,
contact did you ever have with her explaining that?
we didn't at
Exactly.
that
So
day.
it makes it
Right.
unbelievable. It just looks like you wanted to leave her
Right,
hanging.
but by
In
then
any
she
event,
didn't
you've
want
got
to-
the coat, you've got the money, and she wants a refund, and she doesn't deserve one because.
We have the original order here.
I did contact her after that problematic day.
Okay.
And,
When? How long after?
It was not a crazy amount of time, but it was, maybe a few days, a week. I mean, less
That's
than that.
a crazy amount. You leave me hanging at Spice, good as Spice is, okay? You leave me hanging at a restaurant waiting for you. You call me a week later, by then you're dead to me. I mean, come on. So this is a custom-made coat that you paid how much for?
$2,135.
Okay. Wow. All right. The coat is there. I'd like you to try on the coat.
I would love to try on the coat, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Do we have a full-length mirror?
was going to
We're going
bring
to have
him.
to take it in some more because all we did right to this point is put the thinner thinsulate in, but we still have to pin it to her. I mean,
well,
it was a little boxy.
Does,
but-
does anybody else want to see her wear the coat?
Let's start by seeing it.
Let's see. Let's just see. He's not confident about it because he thinks he's still going to have to take it in.
Is there a full-length mirror?
Yeah.
Does it
Do we
feel-
have a full-length mirror?
It's big.
I don't know. Let me see.
But if you were wearing a business jacket, it would take up some of the bulk, just not
Well,
that
it
much.
says who she wears a business jacket. No, it's got a lot of bulk.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be? How is this supposed to be? This is
That's the
actually
hood. Yeah.
okay. So it's actually supposed to be like that.
Well, it
No,
has a 2-inch facing.
no, there's a 2-inch facing. It folds back, so it snaps around the collar.
Yeah, come on.
So,
Is it alright if it comes close to you? Okay.
so this would be like an alternate type of collar, which buttons on and off, like that. And then if it starts to rain, you can then, oops, excuse me.
Well, wait, she didn't approve that. Hair is hair. That's like totally different.
but sorry.
That's all right. We'll give you a chance. Don't
And
worry.
then it goes like that, and then it would snap like that, so it wouldn't blow.
And now he's going to smother you.
All right, so then this comes off.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So turn this way for me. All right. So then you can take the collar off,
So then
and
you can wear the collar up or down.
if what you
Can I just have him step back in so we can hear him?
It says it.
Okay, so there's the full-length mirror. Do you feel it's big?
Yes. It's big through the body.
Yeah.
And it is big, it's a bit big through the body, and the shoulders should be less padded.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. I don't know, when I heard this thing, I'm thinking this woman looks in the mirror and she's crying over a coat. I find that weird.
If she's very sensitive, maybe she would cry.
I get it, but is it a little delusional to cry over a coat?
I think yes, especially, well, if it was expensive, it's kind of...
Oh, God, you're hedging. I need a guy here. Okay.
No way. It's just clothes. You don't need to cry over a coat.
See, ladies? Yeah. You see? Listen to this guy going inside the courtroom.
You wanted to point out something in the contract to me?
Yeah, it says, at our discretion, we reserve the right to remake any item to remedy any problem.
Right. Here's the thing, though. You did have the right to remake it to remedy the problem, and this is the remade, addressed problem, and it's still a problem.
We never got to fit it to her.
What do you mean? You never? Why didn't you finish the work? Then you breached because you didn't finish the work.
After she canceled the order, we didn't bother to
Fix it a third time?
call her and take it in.
No. Wait, so the meeting that day for lunch wasn't
to do another fitting. It was to do another fitting.
It was a fitting at the restaurant, or it
Right.
was to deliver a finished product?
To bring the coat and do a fitting to see what else had to be altered.
Is it your understanding that you were going to have the finished product at that restaurant?
No, I believed I was going to have a better product and it was going to be closer, but
there was still work to do?
I did feel that there was still going to be work to do.
Okay. So what was the day they failed to appear? Was what?
September 12th? I'm sorry, I don't have my emails. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
I have them. I'm tired of waiting for a coat you have no intention of delivering. In fact, I waited for over an hour for you at Spice yesterday. Now I just want a full refund. I expect to receive a check in the amount of $2,135. He responds to you that next day. I really apologize. I will take $235 off the coat and come to your house to do the fitting. You send a response to him October 10th, which is almost a month later. I am thoroughly disgusted and disappointed in the unprofessional way you insist upon trying to conduct your business. I repeat, since I have not received a coat, I want a full refund of the amount I have paid you. A discount is not sufficient. And so here we are. Why wouldn't the lady be entitled to a refund? You took her measurements, the coat wasn't right. You told her to meet you somewhere, she sat there for an hour, you never showed up. I have to decide who breached the contract.
It says all
and it is
sales are
very,
final.
very difficult for me to decide that
Give her the
she breached the
contract.
contract under these circumstances. How did she breach the contract? I mean, is your argument that, she paid, your best argument, I guess, is probably, hey, she paid me in full, liked it, and left. And there's no returns. What does your contract say about returns?
It's on the bottom.
All sales final, no returns without prior approval, do not ship without authorization. At our discretion, we reserve the right to remake any item to remedy any problem.
Your Honor, if I may, I did return it with permission. I took the coat, When it didn't fit, I was told.
No, that's all right. That was
they could-
persuasive. I like that.
That they
so
could
you did.
fix it.
He accepted it.
They
Stop talking.
wanted it
So stop talking before you turn. Before you convince me right out of the position. So your answer is they waived that because they took the coat back in order to fix it, and then they didn't fix it, and everything else happened. So that's a new contract that I have. And then, Judge, they breached by not meeting me at the restaurant that day and leaving me waiting, and now I've lost confidence in them.
I did
Now
call
we're
the
done.
next.
I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff in this case, $2,135. You got it. You have to
you, Your
conduct
Honor.
business, and I know you're an artist, but there's a business component to what you're doing, and you have to comply with the business component too. I have no doubt you'll be able to resell that.
Well, the judge has ruled in favor of the plaintiff here, and here is the artist himself. What's your feeling on the outcome of the case first?
Well, I always try to put the customer first and make a quality garment.
Well, the garment, it's the way you did business. It's not really, the garment. It's the way you did business with her.
There were things that were happening. I called her the next day. I offered her quite a lot of money to make it easier for her.
What are you going to do with the goat now? You think you'll be able to sell it? Huh?
Yes.
Sell it to the judge.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, you couldn't sell her your story. Maybe you could sell her the coat. All right. So come on in here. Are you satisfied how this comes out?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
How badly did you want that coat?
I thought the coat was a magnificent coat. I think he's a brilliant designer. However, I need to do business with someone who can do business.
And you don't want to give him that last chance to fix it for you?
No, he's had
All right.
6 months.
All right. Harvey.
Whenever you buy something that's supposedly tailor-made, get the specifications written down on the receipt. In this case, though, it was pretty obvious the coat didn't fit.
This is the plaintiff, Jasmine Dixon. She says she and the defendant went to college together, became friends, and he got her involved in a shady business deal and lost all her money. He was supposed to turn $100 into $1,000, but all the guy did was steal her money. Well, she's here to get it back and is suing the bad businessman for the $1,000 she's owed. This is the defendant, Justin Heslop. He says he was unfortunately scammed out of the money he invested for himself, the plaintiff, and others. Feels terrible about it, but it was just one of those things. Turns out it was for the better, because he now knows the investment was something illegal and doesn't want to be involved in anything illegal. He's accused of being a cold-hearted thief.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants went to college together, but things went south after the defendant got the plaintiff involved in a shady deal. Now, the defendant says he's a victim of an illegal scheme, too. It's the case of Let's Play the Pyramid.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Okay, Jasmine Dixon, you are suing Justin Heslop for $1,000 that you say he promised you if you just gave him 100.
Yes.
And he neither returned the 1,000 nor the 100.
Correct.
For what?
The money was for what?
Yeah, you didn't think I'd ask that? Yeah.
No, I don't know what it was. Well, for me, I was just going to use it for school. That was what it was for.
You think I mean how are you going to spend?
Yeah, I don't like. What was?
Why did you give the defendant $100?
So he can give me $1,000.
How was he going to make 100 1,000?
I don't know. You have to ask him that.
Oh no, I'm asking you that because you handed him the 100. So how did you think
He said that his aunt was going to give him a check for $3,000, and he said that I would get $1,000 from that. All I had to do was give 100.
Why would anybody do that?
Do what? Give the $100?
Offer to you a chance to make $1,000.
I don't know.
That didn't occur to you to ask?
Not really, because I'm like, it sounded like a good idea, kind of. But it sounded like a good idea, kind of, but.
He just gives you 100, you give him $100, and then he gives you 1,000 the next day, just cause, like.
I said that he said he would give it, he was going to get it from his aunt. Like, what they did
or
with it.
Why?
Why? No.
Why would he do this for you?
I don't know, because I'm a friend. To help out. I don't know. I would have did the same thing.
Do you
for
suppose
somebody.
there's a little something, something I don't know?
Maybe a lot of something in
That's
this
kind
situation.
of how I feel. So are you going to cough it up, or do I just go over to him?
There's nothing to cough up.
What's going on?
Basically, I seen a chance to get extra money, but it didn't work out in my favor.
How?
So-
What was the chance that you had to get extra money?
Now, my friend, his aunt, basically, she works for this little firm or whatever, and it's like a scam. Like they told me it wasn't a scam, but I obviously got scammed out of my money as well.
No, I don't want to hear your conclusions about how you got scammed. I want to hear what you thought you were doing. Tell me what they enticed you with and told you would happen and how.
It was basically I give them basically extra money, like a scam. If I give them $400 and I get a check for $4,000.
Why? How?
I don't know how. I just know
Oh, you people are completely full of
that
baloney.
it works.
Who are you to him?
Girlfriend.
You're his girlfriend? Were you his girlfriend in July?
No.
Okay. That was going to make it very interesting. What is going on? There's obviously more to this than meets either you were involved in a pyramid scheme or you were involved in some kind of fraud. Tell me the truth about what was the original plan.
The plan was I give somebody $400 and I get $4,000 back. It's a scam. It's basically an income tax
How were
scam.
you? Was somebody going to turn 400 into 4,000 for you?
I don't know. I don't do the scam.
How did you find out later that it was?
Basically,
What kind of scam?
I was told that it was an income tax scam.
What did you tell her when you asked her for the 100?
I told her it was a 50-50 chance that we might get it or we might not get it.
Did you tell her what you just told me?
I told her it was an income tax scam.
Oh, so you went to her and you got her $100 telling her that it was an income tax scam?
Basically.
No.
Oh, so then you weren't bamboozled. You knew what you were doing from the beginning.
Yeah, I knew that it was a scam, like not a scam, but I knew.
No,
I thought,
it's a scam. You can say
Yeah,
scam because
basically.
scam is what it is. That's who you're
Basically.
dating. You're dating a scam artist. All right, and so now you get told that and still hand over the 100, but according to you, he signs a contract saying if I don't get your 1,000, I'll return your 100.
Your Honor, he's telling the story. He did not break it down like that. He didn't even elaborate on no scam or anything like that. And I have the evidence that says that. He said that I will give you $1,000 if you give me the 100, if, ands, and no buts. Like he was so confident.
Let
he
me
made
see.
sure.
Let me. This is hysterical. Let me see the contract you claim he signed. Did you sign a
I
contract?
didn't sign any contract.
Really?
Let's see it.
Thank you.
Is this your signature?
Oh, that just looks like somebody just scribbled.
What is this? It purports to be text messages back and
Oh,
forth.
that's the Facebook message when we actually was having the conversation. That's how we was communicating.
I give my aunt 300. I get a check for 4 racks. If you give me 150, I'm gonna give you 1,000 on Friday. If BV, any chance this blank don't work, which I have no doubts because this would be the 3rd time I did it, you'd still get your bread back regardless. Did you write that?
Yeah.
Oh, what part of that isn't guaranteeing her bread back regardless? Where's the stuff that came before it? I want to see what he told you before it.
No, this is the whole conversation. It started from July 31st.
That day?
Yes, July 31st.
No,
with
there
the
had
good
to be some
mornings.
discussion other than this. You can't be this stupid.
Before the conversation,
Is she
was
the
like,
stupid? Who are you guys? Sisters? I mean, this is crazy.
It's a little crazy.
What's the
I agree.
conversation before this?
It has nothing to do with this. It's really irrelevant. Like the conversation before, like going swimming or something.
She says in your Facebook page on August 14th, you did sign a contract. I will go through with this procedure. And you respond, I didn't sign a contract. You respond, you're not the only person waiting for money. Like I ain't even play you. My phone blanked up like blank. I look like doing all that for 100, you're bugging. I was trying to get you your money first, soon as I got out of jail, which was Thursday, but now you coming crazy. Go ahead, take me to court like you're funny. What'd you go to jail for?
Violation of probation.
What was a violation of probation, other than everything you just confessed to in open court? What was a violation of probation?
I had to do community service, and I didn't do it, so they sent me back.
You can't even be bothered to do that? I never signed the contract. Yeah, I kind of want to see the whole Facebook thing. Get the Facebook page up. I want to see the conversation between you two.
Okay, no. Somebody says, I'll give you $1,000 tomorrow if you give me 100 today. You gonna do it?
No.
Why?
It doesn't make sense.
I mean, it does. Some people actually get that money and some people don't. Would you gamble on it?
No, I would not. Absolutely not.
Okay, now the big question is the plaintiff, the woman, as much of a crook as the defendant for doing it in the first place?
Yes. Yes.
What do you think?
Yes. She was trying to be doing something shady, and so is he. They're trying to make it.
Oh, I think that's exactly what happened going inside the courtroom.
Come over here. Come over here. Find it for me. Find the conversation for me.
Look, this is it right here.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
You see it?
When are you going to make my day? I don't know. I have to see. No rush. Okay, cool. I would rather have your number if you have NP giving, no problem giving it to me. Blah, blah, blah. Was he flirting with you?
Yes.
Were you flirting back?
No.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you were.
Yeah, kinda. Like,
Boy, you can pick him, huh? You got a pretty smile. I'm going to have to keep you smiling. Thanks, that's kind of your duty, and ditto. Duty? That's crazy. I could make it my duty. As my new friend, you have to keep me smiling. I mean, that's the perks of being my friend. Come and get me so I could feed you, you say.
I hope Mom ain't listening.
I don't even remember that part.
And then you were all upset because he's ignoring you. Okay, here we go. So he actually says to you, good morning. You trying to make $1,000 by Friday, gorgeous? How? I give my aunt $300, my aunt, and I get a check for 4 racks. If you give me $150, I'm gonna give you $1,000 on Friday. If by any chance this blank don't work out, which I have no doubts because this will be the 3rd time I did it, you'll still get your bread back.
No.
You say you didn't sign that document and that she's forging it, which is entirely possible, but it certainly sounds like you agreed. Why are you nodding when I say it's entirely possible? Did you forge that contract?
No.
Okay. Well, that's what you were nodding to. Well,
I was like happy you was reading. I'm like,
go back to the lectern. But it's certainly what you say in the Facebook post. It's certainly what you say to her. So do tell, why are you suing for $1,000 if what the agreement was is I'll give you $1,000 or $100 on Friday?
Because I feel that was the agreement in the beginning, and after all the BS he did and extra, then he tried to get smart with me.
I should give you the benefit of your illicit deal? That couldn't possibly have been anything legitimate? I don't think so. And why would I not order you to give her back the 100 when those were the terms upon which you took her 100?
Well, basically, I told her, because that's what I was told, I was going to get money regardless if it didn't work or if it did or did not work. So I was just going to give her money.
Yeah, I don't care what somebody told you. I don't care. Well, I don't care, but the authorities might be interested in the kind of scam artist that you are. I care right now about the one thing that's in front of me, which is it's actually true that she is that naive. Well, not naive. Stupid is a better word. That she would give a guy she barely knows $100 on the promise that he's going to give her $1,000. I thought it couldn't be true. I thought you must have. I thought that she would be smarter and would say something like, "How? What? Tell me how," and that you would tell her. But then I read the posts, and you don't tell her at all, and she's happy to give you the money, and she's making plans to give you the money. It's
actually, when we met up, the part that you didn't see, when I actually dropped the money off, he said that his aunt was going to do the procedures with the check, and he explained it a little bit. He didn't say anything about a scam or anything else like that.
What did he say about the aunt?
That's crazy.
He said, "Oh, my aunt, she can turn the money into the $3,000. She lives in New York." He was breaking down the information, actually.
But how? How did he break down the information?
That's all he said, that she could turn it into the 100 into the 3,000.
But how?
Writing a check. I'm thinking it was like bad checks or something. That's the only thing I was thinking.
I'm glad you said that, because once you said that, now I understand that you are every bit as illicit. You're not just naive, you're also a scam artist. And when two people have their own little criminal activity, they don't come to the court to ask the court to take their long arm of the law and help them out to give them back their investment when they're busy trying to play into bad checks and make money through some illegal activity. So my verdict in this case is for the defendant, not because you're you're right, or because you're not a criminal, because you are, but because you're every bit as criminal as he is. Goodbye, folks.
Well, the plaintiff said the magic words when you said, "Oh, I thought it was bad checks or something." You realize that?
Yeah, I realized it.
What do you realize?
That it was a bad check.
You realize that you were trying to buy into an illegal scheme.
Partially I was, but at the same time, on the other hand, he did sign the contract, so either way, I should have.
Judges don't enforce illegal contracts about criminal activity.
It was a contract, and that's all I have to say.
All right, right down there, okay? All right, so step in here and tell me, how do you feel about yourself coming out of the courtroom under these circumstances?
I really don't know how to feel right now, but just glad it's over with.
You are still his girlfriend?
Yes.
You're not concerned about any of the story that you just heard?
I mean, it was before I was here, so I'm not involved with that.
Okay, Harvey.
Okay, now, he is so right. They were both crooks in this thing. They both knew it was shady. They knew it was probably illegal, and they both did it. And when stuff like that happens, the judge doesn't decide who's the lesser crook and who's the bigger crook.
This is the plaintiff, John Piazza. He says he hired the defendant to build him a garage, gave him a down payment, and then the guy took off. The defendant's nothing more than a con artist who needs to be stopped before he does it to someone else. And he's suing the louse of all louses for the $1,500 he gave him. This is the defendant, James Bouchard. He says the plaintiff changed his mind from a woodshed to a metal one, and the one he ordered online was nothing like the one they looked at in the store. This new one was a monster which needed a cement foundation and then needed to be bolted into that foundation with 118 bolts. He told the plaintiff he'd need more money to complete this much bigger job, and that's when the guy balked. He's accused of disappearing with a do-re-mi.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Dennis. John Piazza,
Yes.
You are suing James Bouchard for $1,500 that you say he owes you for construction work that he did not complete. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Well, it all started on March of last year. And James called me and he says, "You got any work for me? I need to pay my mortgage." So I said, "Yeah, I need a garage put up." And then he said, "Okay." And he came down to the house and we talked it over. And I gave him $1,075 to help me put up a garage.
Okay.
So we all.
Did you guys write anything up?
Yes, we did. I have
May I see
evidence.
it?
Yep.
All right, so he's going to build you a wooden shed of a
Right.
certain size with these specifications.
Right.
And you paid him in March.
Right. Paid him cash.
Paid him cash because he needed the money then.
Right.
And then what happened?
Well, then, we went up to all these places to find wood and everything, and it turned out to be very expensive. So he said to me, "Well, why don't you buy a metal one?" So I said, "Fine." I said, "Where do I get one?" So he told me these two places to go get them. And of course I went there and with him, and I ordered one, and I waited about 6 to 8 weeks to get it in, but they canceled it on me because they said they couldn't get it for me. So I said, now what do I do, you know? So he says, well, why don't you try online? So I went online and I found one online and I bought it. And it took another 6 to 8 weeks to come in. So now we're in October sometime. And the garage came in and he goes, well, you're going to put a floor in it. So I said, all right. So I said, put a floor in it. He sent me back out, got more wood. And I went to put the floor in. He goes, well, that ain't going to work now. Now you got to put a cement floor.
You went to put what kind of floor in?
A wood floor. And then that didn't work. So I ended up putting a cement floor in. Well, the winter came. And now it's getting to winter come. Now it's coming spring. I kept in touch with him.
When you put in a cement floor, you know it's October.
Right.
Was the plan that he would build the metal shed, put it together for you? What did you end up buying? A Quonset hut, like those round top things, like the Army barracks?
Right here.
Okay, let me see it.
Evidence.
And then, so whose decision is it to wait until spring at that point?
Well, it was the snow fell. It was October. We had that big snowstorm of last year.
Okay.
And you know, so May he came around.
Okay, I guess what I'm a little bit lost about is the guy agreed to build you a wooden one.
Right.
And you have something else going on now.
Well,
so did you guys rewrite the contract in any way?
No, we never rewrote the contract. The contract was, but he suggested that I buy a metal one. And that's what his suggestion was because the wood was too expensive.
Well, because you said the wood was too expensive.
Right. So,
okay.
You know, wood, metal.
All right, so now what happens? Now we're in spring.
Now we're in spring, coming May, October. So he comes over.
It's May, he comes over.
He comes over, 3 hours. He was at my house. I picked him up, bought him cigarettes, coffee, whatever, you know, and we started working on it. He starts putting it together. He can't figure it out. Now, he had the manual all winter long to look it over because I gave it to him. I gave him the book, how to build it. And he had that. So he comes over to my house and for 3 hours in the morning. And then after that, it was Mother's Day. He goes, I got to get out of here. It's Mother's Day. I said, fine. I said, what about next weekend? He goes, okay, maybe. And he goes, how about after work? I said, anytime. Finally, I tried to call him and I couldn't get a hold of him. Never answered my phone calls, never called me back, never did anything. So I said, all right. So now I got a garage. I still got to put it up. So I called a friend of mine from Florida, another friend of mine from Stafford Springs, and they both came over, and I had to pay him. Well, I gave both of them $200 each, you know, to help me put up my shed.
So now you're suing him for the money you paid him.
Right. And
all of it. And the money you paid your friends.
Right.
And cigarettes and coffee money.
Yeah.
And that way you have a completely free garage in your backyard, because then you wouldn't have paid anything for it. If he has to pay you back what you paid him plus what you paid your friends, then the net result for you would be that it would be completely free, right?
Not really, because it cost me $3,000 for the garage itself. Another $2,000.
Well, no, I meant the labor part, dude. You were always going to pay the $3,000.
Yeah,
you would
plus
get free labor.
$2,000 it cost me to put a cement floor in.
So you would get free labor, which was not your bargain.
Listen.
Your right when you come to court as a plaintiff is to be made whole if somebody has wronged you.
Right.
That means you paid a guy to do something and he didn't do it, or he did only 75% of it, so you're entitled to whatever he didn't do. It's to give you the benefit of your bargain, not to make you better off by never having to pay labor for anybody. What's going on here? You agreed in writing to build him a garage made of wood.
Yes.
How did that change into other stuff with nobody writing anything, so that there's a clear understanding between you two of what would be demanded?
When we got there, the materials came to like $2,400. So I told him I'd charge him $2,400 for labor too. It would be $4,800. He said, oh no, I don't have that much money. I want to only pay $3,500 with labor and materials. So that's when I dropped it to $1,000 for labor. But it was supposed to be wood on 6x6 pressure treated timbers, no floor. Then he goes, and I never said anything about a metal shed. He suggested they might be cheaper, so he went.
For him?
Yes.
Because you were always going to build a shed where he bought the wood.
Yes.
So he doesn't want to spend the money on the wood, so he decides to get a metal one. That wasn't your suggestion to him?
No.
Okay.
So he told me he got a shed. So when I went up to see it, this is a big steel construction shed, you know, and it detailed prints and everything, and in the prints it has a detailed foundation plan that he had to put in to cover the warranty. So I told him he has to get a foundation guy and make sure he puts in all the bolts where they belong. So I helped him a few times, and I said,
what does I helped him a few times mean?
I helped him like 3 hours one day, like he said, and then 6 hours another day.
Okay, but he says that one day you worked for 3 hours and then said, I gotta go.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon. We had a party.
And had you already done the 6 hours, or the 6
then
hours
the
was like-
following weekend.
Okay, so according to him, he
I don't
came and
remember.
gave you 9 hours. That's not true, according to
No,
you?
I don't remember the other 6 hours he gave. He only gave me 3 hours, and then he was vanished. There was no 6 hours after that. I can't figure out 6 hours. Really?
Okay, whatever. I'm not arguing with you.
Unless it's
Don't
6
argue with
hours.
each other, argue with me.
Plus all the running around that I did with him, all the hours I spent with him, I drew up a plan for the wood shed for him.
Well, who built this? This came in all in pieces?
All in pieces, yeah. Every piece, there was
It's on
five,
the-
there was
there's a
5
picture on it.
Hey,
pieces.
you need to stop talking. Go
There
ahead.
was 5 pieces per section, and it was like 38 bolts on each section to bolt it in.
How much of it did you help him
I
with?
put 10 sections up. There was 12 sections. I built them on the ground, and in the plans it shows 4 people putting it up with a forklift. We would have never been able to put it up ourselves.
So how did you end up putting it up?
I had 2 friends. It took them a day to put it up.
But did they have a forklift?
No, I have a tractor. There's a picture of it right there. Right, I have a big tractor, and it was very simple, actually.
How long have you two known each other?
About a year and a half.
Yep.
Have you ever worked on anything together before?
Yes, I did a lot of stuff in his house, and he was satisfied with it, but he never basically like screwed me like this. He didn't want to pay me any more money. He should have paid me double. He didn't want to spend more than $3,500 to begin with, and then he goes out and spends $38 on a shed and then $25 on a foundation. Basically, he screwed me from the beginning.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, as a group of people, are construction people as reliable as any other group, or are they worse? What do you think?
I think they're worse.
Why?
With the economy, it's really come out that they don't have as much business, and now it's showing that they...
But if they don't have as much business, they're going to be more reliable for the customers they have. Are they generally slackers, or are they as good as anybody else?
Oh, I think it depends on the person.
It does depend on the person, but certain groups have certain, reputations. Do contractors deserve the reputation of being unreliable?
No, I don't think so.
What do you think?
I think they do.
Why?
They do it to themselves. A lot of times they grab the money and they run. You cannot really check on them.
Well, that's the bad rap that people hear. The question, is it true going inside the courtroom?
What happens, it often happens that people have an agreement and then somebody changes their mind, and then you just drop another agreement and nobody feels, as you so eloquently state, nailed. And so, but then it would be clear, all right, listen, this is a lot more work. I'm not going to do it for the $1,000 that you got me through my tough time with. I will give you 10 hours of work and you got to figure out something. But, you guys have this, this is where the breakdown happens, is that he changes what he wants out there and then he expects you to put it up with him. And then you do not. You feel like...
I did enough hours, yes.
Yeah, but is it up to you to decide that when you don't have an agreement by him, like you guys didn't renegotiate this, it's just your way or the highway that you're done? And is it fair of you to think that if you have a contract with a guy to put up a wood one, which is kind of easy if you're a carpenter, it's really easy, and then you have this marine hut and you want to get it all together that required 2 guys, not, double the personnel, it's kind of, you're both wrong. And then you want him to return every penny as though he never worked there at all. I don't remember that second day. Not it didn't happen, but I don't remember that second day. You don't argue that he went to Home Depot with you, that he helped you to try to find it, that he that he had the manual, that he studied the manual.
And to begin with, I didn't approach him. He came and asked me if I could build something.
Well, wait a second, though. You say, according to him, you did that because you needed mortgage money right away.
I did that day, but I didn't go and approach him and ask him for work. He came to me. And then I said, well, I could use money now. I'll do it for that. That's what I agreed on.
You do see that this is qualitatively different than putting up a wood structure, right?
No, I think this is a lot easier, actually, because all it was is bolts. You don't got to do any cutting or anything like that.
You got to screw everything into the foundation.
That just sits right in the foundation.
How many hours did it take to do?
2 days. Those
do you
guys.
have the manual with you?
No, I don't have.
That would be really nice for me to be able to see the manual. I'm not going to rule in your favor. The problem that you have when you folks stray from the when you have a contract, it is what it is. I don't have a hand in it. I don't have a chance to change it. I don't want to change it. It's the agreement between 2 people. when you have this amorphous, we'll see how it goes thing, because you've changed the contract and there's no clear indication on who's doing what with that change. He goes, he builds a lot of it. And then he feels like, this is so much different than what I agreed to. I'm done after 9 hours. It takes you have to bring 2 other guys in to finish it. This is more complicated than the wooden structure. And you leave it in the judge's hands when you do that. When you don't have a clear understanding between the 2 of you, I've got to kind of feel it and decide, did he do enough work to justify that amount? Did he not do any work that would justify ordering him to return it all and pay for his friends to put it up? And I just, based on what I'm hearing, you're the guy with the burden of proving it to me that he just cheated you out of all this money that you're suing for. And I don't see it. My verdict is for the defendant.
Oh. So the judge rules that the defendant is entitled to what he got paid. Step on in here, meaning you collect nothing in this case. What's your reaction to that?
I think she was wrong. Definitely wrong. He only worked 3 hours. It's not worth $1,000. No matter what.
Well, when you changed the structure, why didn't you make up a whole new agreement?
We should have made that whole new agreement.
Yeah,
that was our biggest mistake.
All right. Head right down this way. Yeah. You win your case. What's your feeling coming out?
She did the job she should be doing. She knows about construction and everything else. He doesn't, plainly. So
why didn't you insist on a new written agreement?
Because I was just sick, because he kept calling me, threatening me and stuff. I was just sick of it. I was going to help him to begin with, but then when he kept calling me.
4 words. Let's put it in writing.
Yep. Well,
5 words.
He lost. I won, so.
Harvey?
A word of warning, if you ever make a change to an existing contract, you had better get that in writing. If it's not in writing, trust me, when things go bad, the other side's going to say, we never said that. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
These are the plaintiffs, Chelsea and Kimberly. Chelsea says the defendant scammed them on some Pokemon cards he sold them. That's right. He advertised certain cards, but when they received them, the guy exchanged those expensive cards with ones that weren't worth anything. They're suing this con man for the $400 he stole from them. This is the defendant, Nathan. He says he denies a bait and switch and sold the plaintiffs exactly the cards he advertised. These people have been harassing him on social media. They're even bothering his wife on Facebook. And if anyone's owed money today, it's him. He's accused of false advertising. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,000 for harassment.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiffs claim they were scammed by the defendant who sold them worthless Pokemon cards, but the defendant saying the plaintiffs got exactly what they bargained for. It's the case of Hokey Pokey.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Ms. Chelsea and Ms. Kimberly. Mother and daughter? Okay. You're suing Mr. Nathan because according to you, he pulled a bait and switch on some Pokemon cards. He has a counterclaim against you for harassment. Tell me what happened.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to back up and say we've been collecting Pokemon cards since about the year 2000, just treasure hunting, having some fun with the kids when they were real little. And we just sort of continued to do that. And so a couple of weeks ago on OfferUp, which is an app, we met Nathan and began chatting over the OfferUp about some Pokemon cards that he had. And when it came time to show pictures, we had to get off and go to texting because you can't show a lot of pictures on texting. But we established a rapport throughout the day on OfferUp and then by texting, and then eventually set up a time to meet in the late night. Actually, it was pretty late by the time I got off work and we made the journey. It was about an hour away to pick up the cards. And when we got there and picked up the cards, when we left and actually looked at what we had gotten, we had given him $400.
Okay, so what you got was not worth $400? Why didn't you look at it before you handed him the $400?
Well, we had established rapport with him throughout the day.
he had put a whole box of stuff together and said there was extras included and goodies, and the best one was on top, and it was a holographic Japanese Charizard, which is a good card. And so we thought, oh, he's giving us freebies, and he said he wanted to get rid of all of it. So when he said he wanted to get rid of everything, we didn't think anything would be removed.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I don't understand. Did you open the box, or you didn't even open the box?
We opened the box. We did not examine the specific cards inside the binder while we were there.
See, that's the thing. Like, you guys are experienced collectors. I would think that you would open the box and examine the binder and kind of. So what? Why didn't you? You just, I felt like we knew each other because we'd been texting all day. Yeah. That's it?
By the time we got home, it was like 10:30.
And you had really good ratings, too.
He had good ratings. It was a report. And then also in that moment, it's strange. We were masked. And it was just like a quick...
It was a naive mistake.
There's no good reason. Mr. Nathan, what gives? According to them, they bought it in part because of holographic cards that were supposed to be in there. And according to them, they're not.
Yeah, so I sold it to them as they came and bought it as treasure hunters. I had the lot set up for sale. I didn't have any specific cards laid out from my original post. It was mostly sports cards.
But then during the day, you guys were texting back and forth, right?
Yes. So
and did you not text them that there were holographic cards included in the set?
There was holographic cards included in the set.
And then did you give them the holographic cards?
They would have been scattered throughout the binder and the boxes, yes.
Because they're saying that there were no holographic cards.
Well, the Charizard on top, that one was definitely holographic.
Right, but what about the other ones that you sent a picture of?
Those ones would have been scattered amongst them, and maybe not all of them necessarily included.
Why not all included? What would you be showing them a picture of a holographic card for if you're not including it?
Well, because the main reason I was sending the pictures was informative. They wanted to know what kind of stuff I had and what kind of stuff that they could get. They seemed to be really gung-ho about the Charizard. That was pretty much the most iconic.
So just a moment. So did your ad list what was happening and they misunderstood that you were including all the holographic? I'm not understanding. You had an ad, and the ad said what? That you were selling what?
So the ad said I had a tote full of cards, miscellaneous. There's 1,000 sports cards, 1,000 Pokemon cards, bunch of extras. I took 5, 6 still photos. Only one contained a glimpse of Pokemon cards, and maybe 8 cards were visible. And even with the
so then when they start talking to you, let's look at the text. Let's see what I'm interested in finding out exactly what conversations you folks have that leads to the purchase.
Yeah, so the pictures that you're seeing, that's the binder that they got. They got those cards in that binder.
Is there any picture here that has pictures of cards you did not include?
I would have to look.
Yeah, I'd like you to look at them because we're in court and this is kind of important. It's what you're being sued for. So, Chelsea, did all these cards come?
No, and you can see some of them are shiny and reflective.
Okay, so this is the second picture that you sent them, and according to them, this is not in the binder. Did you pull out the holographic ones before you gave them the box, Mr. Nathan? No. Then did you? Okay, so let's ask it a different way. Were these that are in this picture included in the binder?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying these were in the box?
Yes, ma'am.
And they're saying?
Amongst tons, there's tons.
Okay, and they're saying, no, you pulled those out. And I'm concerned because a second ago you started to talk about how, well, not every picture I gave them is of something I was selling to them. It wasn't included in the original ad. So I'm trying to figure out what you're getting at because that sounds like in your head, you know you took some stuff out. So just explain what you took out and why.
I was offering one binder to them and they were inquiring about another binder that wasn't even in the offer up.
And what did that other binder have?
So that's the binder that they're getting the picture, or the majority of those pictures are from the other one.
Really? All right. So you're sending them pictures of, and the majority of them are from the other binder, but your statement underneath all those pictures is the one with the McDonald's card is from the other binder. Not 7 of them are from the other binder.
No, yeah, exactly. But they
No,
would have
not
known.
exactly. You and I are not agreeing. We're not on the same page. I'm concerned because you're telling me that the majority of the pictures you sent these people are from another binder. That's an inkling to me that you did remove stuff before giving it to them. Can I ask you ladies something? When you looked through that, did you immediately contact him, Chelsea or Kimberly? At 9:58, you send a picture. These pages are not in the notebook. There are no holos as were in the pics you showed us. Why? Please respond quickly or I will report. Very upset and disappointed. You have one chance to make this right. Zelle me the money back at this number within 15 minutes or I'm reporting you to the police department and offer up. And does he ever respond to any of this stuff?
No, ma'am, he didn't respond. And I did, after I waited about 30 minutes, I did call the police department.
And so what did the police do?
I showed him a couple of pictures and he said that he didn't think there was enough to go out and arrest him for that.
For a crime, right. So he told you it was a civil matter and that's why you're here.
Matter.
So I have a question for you. Is there any value to the stuff that you have?
Yeah, I did an estimate of a fair value. The Charizard being the most valuable card. But the binder without any of the holos is a maximum $50. And you did see, we upped the price when we saw those photos. We originally offered $300. We went up to $400 when we saw those photos. Like, oh, that's a better value. We thought we were being fair.
So what do you want? You want to return all this to him and you want your money back?
Yes.
And Mr. Nathan, when I look at these texts and I see that you are showing them, most of those pictures were things I wasn't selling to them. I kind of feel like you're not particularly transparent, Mr. Nathan, and I don't like it. I'm ordering you to return the $400 and we'll make arrangements for you to return the $50 worth of Pokemon cards. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
So the plaintiffs are going to get their money back on this deal. Kind of a surprise. Nathan, let me ask you, what are you thinking right now? Are you surprised?
A little bit surprised, but, can't win them all.
That's the judge's verdict.
I'll be happy to get my
live
cards
with
back,
that.
too. That's good.
Okay, Chelsea, Kimberly, how do you feel about the outcome of this?
I did learn a valuable lesson from this. Always pay through the app. Always check the merchandise and never give your personal information out online.
Use PayPal, don't use cash.
Anyway, congratulations.
Thank you.
You get your money back. Okay, very good. All right, Harvey, this is a valuable lesson for everybody going to buy something like this, right?
Doug, right you are. In a situation like this, by the way, when you are buying something sight unseen, make sure you get something in an email or a text with a picture of what you're buying, and that way you can compare the picture against what you actually receive. Don't do it in the dark. Get those pictures before and after.
Marilyn, do you read law books or law articles for fun?
For fun? No.
For fun.
It's for fun and profit.
You read comic books?
I'll read. I think anybody who's a lawyer or a judge has to stay up on the law. So if something is new and novel and it's in the news, I will sometimes go behind it and say, well, I'd like to see the indictment, or I'd like to, to figure out why a judge ruled a certain way.
That a lot.
Right.
Like,
and
I want to know what the common law is. I want to know what the case law is.
Well, I don't know if that was so bad. Let's see what's allowed in their state or stuff like that. I mean, I find that I do a lot of my reading will always be, murder, mystery, thriller, spy, law enforcement.
Kind of woven into it somehow, right?
Yeah.
You like watching those kinds of shows on TV.
Yeah.
A movie that we watched with our kids about a month ago that we both love, My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
That'll still be my favorite movie of all time.
Just great stuff. The best movie ever.
Best movie ever.
Trial work.
I used to teach at New Judges College in the state of Florida. Whenever new judges were sworn in January, there's a training session in January, and I used to teach jury selection with them. And my partner, who co-taught with me, who's now a federal judge, he and I always had little snippets of My Cousin Vinny when we were doing it.
Yeah, kind of keep people on their toes, make them laugh a little bit.
Yeah.